Hi students, so this lecture recording is specifically for bus and part group number 1 where we couldn't finish this process costing, the last part of process costing I would say. So there we had to cover the batch production and then the joint products and then byproducts. These parts we couldn't cover during the physical lectures. So as we discussed, this is the lecture recording for that. So now we have to start with this process costing in service organizations. Now, if you can remember, we discussed questions, we discussed in detail process costing in goods manufacturing organizations, right? And then we did computations as well. Now, here we are going to talk about how do we apply process costing in service organizations as well. Now, before moving to service organizations, I want you to remember the common definition we gave you for process costing. Now, what are the important things to remember under process costing? It's a method of costing used mainly in manufacturing businesses where units are continuously mass produced through one or more processes. And these units are identical. I hope you can remember, right? So continuously production and then it is a mass production, right? Those are the common characteristics of process costing. We apply process costing where the manufacturing process is like that. Now, if the manufacturing process is having identical production, continuously produced, and it's a mass production, and then one or more processes are there, then we can apply process costing, right? If it is, we are going to do the costing through job costing. Hope you can remember job costing. Like, take an example as a cake production. We take a cake, right? One cake as one job. So we computed the costing based on a particular job in order to manufacture, in order to make this cake. What is the cost? We applied job costing like that. But when it comes to process costing, we accumulate cost based on what? Based on departments or processes, right? So this is the normal, these are the normal characteristics of process costing. Now, if we apply the same thing to service organizations, process costing is used in service organizations where these are important repetitive services that require similar inputs are provided. If the process can be repeated and similar inputs are provided into a particular process, even in a service organization, you can use process costing. So, what are the examples? Maybe the average cost of processing a standard loan application in a bank. Now, processing a loan application in a bank is a process, and bank is a service organization, right? So, when you process this loan application, there can be different processes, and that process similar inputs are provided, maybe, right? Number of officers working on that loan application, number of standard time applied to process that loan application may be same, similar inputs are provided. So the cost of processing this standard loan application, you can apply process costing. And also the cost per passenger for a flight on a particular route. Now if it is a particular route and one passenger, you can compute cost for different processes. Now, the process is repeated, repetitive services, and similar inputs are provided, right? Now, when it comes to a passenger in a flight, there can be different processes, right? So, after entering into the flight, supplying food items, supplying other facilities, everything, you can compute the cost based on that process. So, cost per passenger in a flight, you can apply process costing. And also taking blood sample for testing. Now, when it comes to a blood sample, the same inputs can be provided, right? The small equipments they are using, right? Everything can be computed for a process. Cost can be accumulated for a process, right? So these are the examples how do we apply process costing in a service organization? Right. Now we are moving to another subtopic, batch or operating costing. Now this is easy because when we were talking about job costing and process costing and the classification, if you can remember, we discussed this batch costing, operating costing. Now, can you remember? I told you sometimes some operations we can apply job costing for some operation. Sometimes we can apply process costing, but there can be situations where we have to use both job costing and process costing. So, if a combination of process costing, if a combination of costing techniques are there, you call it what? Batch or operating costing. So when the final product cost consists of a combination of process costing techniques and job costing techniques, then you call it batch or operating costing. Now, what is the example? Now, can you remember the example we took in the physical class? Making a ring, right? Making a ring. When you make a ring, in the initial stages, initial processes, all the rings are produced as batches, identical units. So everything is produced using the same processes, no customization. Standard ring will be made, right? Standard ring will be made throughout the processes. Now for that you can call what? You can apply process costing. Identical products, mass production, continuous production. After that, after some points, rings are customized. Now, different designs are included. Different designs are put to those rings. So, after that point, what happens? It is not process costing anymore. After that point, job costing will be applied because different jobs, separate costings can be there. Some designs are easy. Some designs are very expensive. It takes time, a lot of effort should be put. So, what happens? You used process costing in the beginning, and then after that, it became job costing. So, it's a combination of process costing and job costing. For processes like that, we call batch or operating costing, right? Okay, moving on. Now it says differences between job costing, job order costing, and the process costing. So we have discussed all these costing, both costing methods separately. Now, what are the differences? When it comes to job order costing, the first difference is many different jobs are worked on during each period, with each job having different production requirements. You take job wise for different jobs, different production requirements will be there, right? But when it comes to process costing, a single product is produced either on continuous basis or for long periods. All units of products are identical, right? Identical. All are identical. We compute the cost for one process, and then all the units past that process is identical, right? Identical products are there. But here, different production requirements will be there. Second one, costs are accumulated by individual job. If you take one job, you accumulate the cost for that particular job, individual job wise. But when it comes to process costing, costs are accumulated for processes or departments. You accumulate the cost for one particular process. After that only you are going to allocate cost to units, right? All the units past that process will have a cost, right? But when it comes to job order costing, you accumulate the cost for one particular job, right? That is the difference. Third one, job cost sheet is the key document controlling the accumulation of cost by a job. Now, when it comes to job cost sheet, we discussed that in the lecture as well. You are using that sheet to get all the details. You prepared one as well. Next one, when it comes to process costing, the process or department production report is the key document showing the accumulation and the disposition of cost. So two documents will be the job cost sheet and the process or department production report. Two separate documents will be used for two production methods. And then unit costs are computed by job on the job cost sheet. So when it comes to a job, using the job cost sheet, you can easily get the unit cost. But when it comes to process costing, unit costs are computed for processes, departments on the department production report. Using the department production report, you can compute the unit cost. How are we going to do that? Now, when it comes to a process, you have all the material cost, labor cost, overhead cost, and you can have the accumulation. Now, if you can remember what we did with the questions, you computed unit cost by dividing the total process cost by the number of units went through that process, right? If you can remember, in the questions, we computed unit cost. You can refer that question, refer those questions and get this point clear. We computed unit cost using the process cost and the number of units, divided the process cost by the number of units, and we had the unit cost. So there are different adjustments to be done, but that is the simple way of computing unit cost, right? So these are the major differences between job cost, job order costing, and process costing. Now we are moving to joint products and byproducts. Now, when it comes to joint products, you can identify it as a group of individual products is simultaneously manufactured and each product has significant relative sales value. Now, joint products, it is the same process. Same processes will be there, and the material, labor, manufacturing overhead will be put together in those processes, and we can't separately identify those products until you arrive at a particular point, right? Those are manufactured jointly, they are manufactured simultaneously, right? We'll discuss that in detail with a picture diagram, but here, if you can see here, materials conversion cost, you know what do you mean by conversion cost? Material conversion cost, everything is put to this joint process. Now, in this joint process, all these products are produced simultaneously, right? Simultaneously manufactured. And all these joint products are having significant relative sales value. Significant sales values will be there for joint products. Now, what are the examples? Now, when you process liquid milk, right, that is the input. When you process liquid milk, you can get dry milk powder, you can get cheese, you can get butter. Likewise, all these are joint products. All these are produced simultaneously, right? But after one point, you identify, okay, these are dry milk powder, this is cheese, this is butter. But until that point, all these products are produced simultaneously in one process. And when it comes to crude oil, when you input crude oil, when you process crude oil, you can get petrol, diesel, kerosene, everything simultaneously manufactured. And of course, these products are having significant relative sales value as well. Right. Now, when it comes to byproducts, the same examples are given here. When it comes to byproducts, BP, byproducts, I can identify byproducts like this. Now, byproducts are products we are getting as a result of the manufacture of main products. When you manufacture the main products, as a result of that process, you can get byproducts. Now, when you process liquid milk and try to manufacture dry milk powder, cheese, butter, all these are joint products, jointly manufactured. As a result of this process, at the end or in the middle during the process, you are getting ghee, right? It is a byproduct. You are not You are not putting an effort to produce this ghee, but as a result of these products, as a result of this production, you are getting ghee. As a result of the process of crude oil, as a result of processing crude oil to get petrol, diesel, and kerosene, you end up having tar. That is the byproduct, right? So this is the nature of joint products and byproducts. Sometimes byproducts can be like discarded materials from the main products. We don't use it, but at the end those products are remaining, or as a process of processing these joint as a result of processing these joint products, you also have byproducts. You get tar, you get ghee, right? So this one, now as I explained before, all the materials and the conversion cost, everything coming into this joint process. Now here everything is produced simultaneously. We can't identify individual products separately. Now after that, you come to this very important point. You call this point split off point. Split off point. Now, after when this joint process arrive at this split off point, all these joint products and byproducts can be separately identified. So products are not identifiable as different individual products until this split off point. After, when you pass this split off point, okay, now you can identify this is the joint product A, this is joint product B, this is byproduct X. Likewise, after the split off point, you can identify these process products. Before that, before this split off point, you don't know. You can't identify individual products. So this is the importance of split off point, right? Now I have a small video clip for you. This explains uh, byproducts and joint products very clearly.
In this session, let us understand what are joint products.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the video clip. I'll be sending you this link for your reference. Now I can't play this video clip in this recording, so I'll be sending this link, YouTube link, for your groups. You can refer that, right? It gives a good example and it explains very well, and you will have more details about it, right? And then accounting for joint products and byproducts. Now, basically, we are going to talk about joint products, right? In your syllabus, we are going to focus on joint products accounting. Basically, there are two methods of apportioning joint cost to joint products. Now, we are going to allocate. Now joint process has a cost, you call it joint cost. You are going to allocate the joint cost to different joint products, right? So how are you going to do that? There are two methods. First one, based on physical measures. Physical measures can be, it can be the weight or it can be volume. Based on physical measures, you are going to allocate the joint cost to joint products, or you can use market values of the products. These are the two methods of allocating joint cost, not the byproducts, right? We are not going to talk about byproducts here, only the joint products. Right. This is the illustration. Now it says Amal Limited operates a process that produces three joint products. Okay, now they have three joint products. The operating results of the process for March 2023 are as follows, and it gives the output of the process. Now, in this process, using this process, product A, B, C, these are the joint products. And after the process, they have manufactured 2000 kilograms, 3000 kilograms, and 1000 kilograms from A, B, and C. And we have the selling price as well. Selling price of product A, selling price per 1 kilo is 200 rupees. Okay, and for 80 per kilo for product B, 60 per kilo for product 6. Okay, now we have the number of units, number of kilograms, volume, weight, and also the selling prices. And then we have the monthly operating cost is 120,000. In this question, you can consider this as the joint cost. So, what is required using the two methods, we have to allocate this joint cost to these A, B, and C joint products using based on physical measure. Now, what is the physical measure in this question? Obviously, the kilograms. Based on the weight, based on the number of kilograms, you can allocate the cost or the market value. What are the things we need to have when it comes to market value? Selling price. So we have the selling price and then we can compute the revenue as well. Using these, we can allocate the joint cost to joint products. Now this is the answer. First one, apportionment of joint cost based on the physical measures. Now you can have product A, B, and C. Now it is based on physical measure. We can have the output in kilograms. So it says 2000, 3000, and 1000 from A, B, and C. So yes, 2000, 3000, and 1000 from A, B, C. And how are we going to allocate the cost? Now the cost to be allocated, the joint cost is 120,000. So you are allocating based on proportionately. So altogether, how many kilograms we have produced in this process? 2000 plus 3000 plus 1000. Altogether, 6,000 kilograms have been produced. So 120,000 rupees, 120,000 joint cost has been incurred to manufacture 6,000 kilograms. Now the question is, if in order to manufacture 6,000 kilograms, if you have incurred 120,000, in order to manufacture 2,000 kilograms, what is the cost? That is the simple idea. So you divide 120,000 by 6,000 and multiply by 2,000 here for A. Here, when it comes to product B, you multiply this by 3,000. In order to manufacture 3,000 kilograms, what is the cost? For C, it is 1,000. In order to manufacture 1,000 kilograms, what is the cost? Likewise, you allocate the joint cost among A, B, and C. So you get the answers 40,000, 60,000, and 20,000. So the total is 120,000. This is how you allocate joint cost based on physical measures. Second one, apportionment of joint cost based on market value. Market value. How are you going to take the market value? Now you can't simply do the computation using the selling price, right? You have to compute what? You have to compute revenue, total revenue. So it's easy. 2000 kilograms, 1 kilo selling price is 100. So the revenue, 2000 multiplied by 100, 200,000. Product B, 3,000 kilograms. If we sell 3,000 kilograms at a price of 80 per kilogram, so 3,000 multiplied by 80, answer is 240,000. And then 1,000 kilograms into 60, answer is 60,000. This is the total revenue we get. So now you are allocating your 120,000 joint cost based on the revenue. Now, if you take the total revenue how much? 200,000 plus 240,000 plus 60. It is 500,000. So you divide your 120,000 joint cost by 500,000. That is the total revenue. And then you multiply it by 200,000 for product A, similar to these physical measures. Again, you divide 120,000 by 500,000 and multiply it by 240,000 for product B. You get the answer 57,600. Previously, for product A, joint cost is 48,000. And when it comes to C, you again divide 120,000 your joint cost by 500,000, your total revenue, and multiply it by 60,000. Your answer is 14,400. So you can see there are Slight differences between the answers, but almost the same. So, using both ways, or using either way, physical measures or based on market value, you can allocate your joint cost to joint products. So, this is how you work out this question. Right. So, with that, we have completed uh, chapter 5 process costing. I hope your doubts are clear now. So, get ready for the examination. Good luck.